Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
A Detroit landmark coming down. Demolition begins at the Hannon Memorial YMCA building on Detroit's east side. Thank you for joining us this noon. I'm Rhonda Walker.
And I'm Priya Mann. In for Jason Colthorpe this afternoon. The former YMCA building that we were talking about first opened back in 1928 and served the community for decades, but it has been sitting empty for over 20 years. And the city says the building is now a hazard. Sean Lay is live for us today as crews continue the demolition. And Sean, not everyone is thrilled to see this historic site go down.
Because it was at one time a beautiful building and a huge cornerstone of the community. We're live out here because this really is a big deal for Hannon YMCA to be finally coming down here. As you both mentioned, 20 years plus it's been vacant, and look at this. This structure is enormous, almost a half block wide, almost a half city block deep. Really served a purpose here in the community years ago, but then became this, a hazard. The crew right now taking a break, but they're taking this place down basically brick by brick, and neighbors around here happy now to see it go because it had been such not just an eyesore but a danger. Let me show you some video. Our camera is out here early this morning for really what could be a historic demo. This is Demolition 101 for the City Construction and Demolition Department. Demo 100 was on Friday and continues. That's on the west side, but this is one of the big ones. Coming down here brick by brick, starting early this morning. It's going to take a while to come down. Historic site here, but after the YMCA let this building go, it got into a couple of different hands. Nothing really happened with the building except for Job Corps was in here for a little bit, and then the city had to take it over and just had to finally bring it down. Keep in mind also that Mayor Duggan likely passed this building on the way down. We're on East Jefferson on the way down to City Hall, the Coleman A. Young building, all the time, every day, looking at this thing, knowing that it's vacant, it's a hazard, and for right now, folks with the city are pleased that it's finally coming down.
There's about 8 different neighborhoods that are going to be positively impacted by the increase in safety here, and so we're just excited.
Back here live. Okay, you talk about 8 different neighborhoods, this side, that side, a lot of people impacted by this, and the city is hoping someone will take this over when it's finally cleared off. But right now, too much of a hazard here. The entire roof collapsed, as you saw from some of the, we'll have some aerial footage for you. This place didn't have a roof for years, and this place is just, all the windows are out. It is coming down brick by brick. Will take a while, and the city is hoping someone develops it after that. We'll talk to neighbors here. They should be rather pleased, actually, this place is finally coming down. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Sean. Police are looking for answers on Detroit's east side after finding a man shot to death inside of a home. This was the scene around 4:30 this morning, a few hours after the discovery was made. It happened at a home on Irvington Street near State Fair. That's between 75 and John R. We don't know much, but we do know police were alerted to the home from a shot spotter call, and the man's body was found in the living room. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. City leaders in Farmington Hills could again discuss the future of a beloved arcade, which is in danger of being demolished or uprooted.
Yeah, and for the folks that love going there, it's more than just an arcade. Leaders have been discussing, though, a plan to modernize the entire strip mall where the property of Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum sits. The plan has been met with a lot of backlash from the locals and those that enjoy this space. City Council voted to table the discussion during a previous meeting and pick it back up tonight. That meeting is scheduled for 7:30. Emergency demolition work has already begun on the bridge at Gallup Park in Ann Arbor. During a routine inspection recently, officials learned that that bridge had significant structural damage and that it should not be crossed. The bridge over Huron River was recently closed to foot and vehicle traffic, a neighboring bridge there. The city is weighing options for residents until at least one of those bridges can be complete.
2 Michigan men are facing felony charges for a rush hour police chase that spanned 2 states and injured an officer. It started Thursday in Locust Grove, Oklahoma, after the driver of a stolen U-Haul van hit a car head on. The chase would stretch into Arkansas. 21-year-old Robert Mercier and 21-year-old Trenton Johnson were both arrested. Investigators say they found guns and homemade Molotov cocktails inside the U-Haul. We've now learned the men were wanted by Westland police for fleeing and eluding. An officer who rolled his patrol car during that chase, by the way, suffered minor injuries. He has since been released from the hospital. A big deadline in Michigan for voters ahead of the presidential primary on February 27th. Today is the last day to register to vote online or by mail. If you miss today's deadline, you can register to vote in person by going to your local clerk's office through Election Day. If you're using an absentee ballot, you can fill it out and return it to a drop box location by 8 p.m. on Election Day. And we've posted information on the 2024 Michigan primaries in the Decision 2024 section of clickondetroit.com.
And we want to talk about the forecast. At least we have the sunshine. It's not quite as warm, but the sun makes all the difference.
Oh, 100%. We need those shades, Ash.
Absolutely. You definitely want the sunglasses as you head out about this afternoon. And we are staying dry not only today, tomorrow, but through Valentine's Day. So if you have plans for your sweetheart on Valentine's Day, just know that you won't need to grab the umbrella. However, we will have some wintry weather returning for the later part of the week, and everywhere in between, well, highs in the 30s and 40s. And that's kind of where we sit right now. 36 in Detroit, over at Metro Airport, 35 in Ann Arbor, 37 in Lapeer, and 37 in Monroe, with winds on the lighter side, kind of variable from the southwest to the east, right around 3 miles per hour. Check this out, though. Sky conditions at this noon hour. A ton of sunshine out there, which does brighten your spirits. Now, we have a few more clouds mixing in Grosse Ile and up towards Port Huron. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies across southeastern Michigan. I'm going to zoom out a little bit to show you just how much clearing is across lower Michigan. However, the northern part of lower Michigan getting brushed with some snow. Zooming out even farther, where you see this storm system down to the south, that's going to track to the northeast, meaning it'll become a nor'easter, but it will skirt us to the south, so we stay dry for tonight. Rest of the day, though, we will be in the 40s, 42 degrees for the afternoon high, sliding to the 30s after sunset. Quick look at the week ahead. We have that wet weather coming Thursday as a rain-snow mix, and then we'll get some more sunshine in the middle of this week. We're going to time out that next weather maker for you coming up.
All right, thank you, Ashley. 2 people were injured in a shooting at Joel Osteen's megachurch in Houston. Police say a woman walked into the building with a child and a rifle. Morgan Chesky has more as police officers continue to search for a possible motive.
A Sunday service interrupted by a terrifying sound in a house of worship. Gunfire blasting through Lakewood Church's Spanish service. The pastor pausing only to hear more shots ring out. The chaotic scene unfolding after police say an unidentified woman armed with a rifle and wearing a trench coat walked inside and opened fire.
We're shooting at Lakewood. 2 people down. We need an ambulance.
A young boy in critical condition. Another churchgoer shot in the leg. 2 off-duty officers are credited with fatally shooting the suspect.
Suspect is down.
Police saying the wounded child arrived at the church with the female shooter, but won't speculate if officers who returned fire were the ones to strike that young victim.
If it was, unfortunately, and that female, that suspect, put that baby in danger, I'm gonna put that blame on her.
Officers telling NBC News the woman was wearing a backpack and said she had a bomb. They also say she sprayed an unknown substance on the ground, but the bomb squad found no explosives.
This is an isolated incident, we believe, at this moment, okay? No further danger to our public.
The shooter's motive is still unclear, but is part of an ongoing investigation. For church member Mariah, who just moved from Colombia, the fear hard to fathom.
I thought that I maybe could die. After that, I just sent a message to my husband saying that I love him.
Pastor Joel Osteen stressing had it happened just minutes later, even more churchgoers could have been targets.
We don't understand why these things happen, but we know God's in control.
And that was Morgan Chesky reporting. Both law enforcement officers involved in the shooting will be placed on administrative leave while the investigation is ongoing. A major discovery has been made more than 600 feet below the surface of Lake Superior.
This is quite a discovery. The Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society found the wreck of the Arlington about 35 miles north of the Keweenaw Peninsula. The 244-foot bulk carrier sunk May 1st of 1940 during a storm. All but one crew member managed to get off of the ship safely before it went down. The captain, Frederick Burke, stayed with the ship. Flash forward to 84 years in modern technology, researchers discovered the wreckage by using sonar technology. The Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society snapped several pictures.
Yeah, and researchers say they hope the discovery will be the final chapter in the story of the Arlington and provide some closure to Captain Burke's descendants.